Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we are going to explore the basics of Microsoft Excel. This is a perfect video for beginners and anyone who is looking to refresh their Excel skills. I am Inyobong Emmanuel, so if you are that person who is interested in learning this course, kindly like and subscribe to the channel for subsequent updates and videos I'll be bringing as regards this tutorial. So we shall look at a quick overview of the Excel interface, identifying different features and what they stand for, what they represent. So watch the video until the very end to get detailed explanation of all features you will find on the Excel interface. Let's get started. To get started, the first thing we need to do is to open Microsoft Excel on the desktop. So I have it here on my desktop. If you don't have Microsoft Excel installed in your system, you can comment so that I can show you the link to download Microsoft Excel. So double click on the Microsoft Excel on your desktop interface and do what? Select blank workbook. Now let me give you a brief recap of Microsoft Excel. It is a powerful spreadsheet program that is used for organizing, analyzing, and visualizing data. It is widely used in businesses, finance, education, and even personal record keeping. When you open the Excel like this is the same interface you come across. I am using version 2016. So if you are using the same version or later, you will be seeing similar features on your screen. So let's proceed ahead to look at those features in Microsoft Excel. The first thing I want to tell you is about the ribbon. Can you see all of this place like this? We call all of this the ribbon. So I can tell you in the home tab, look for where you have wrap text in the ribbon. So all of this section like this is referred to as what? The ribbon. You can see where my mouse is moving. This is the ribbon section. The next thing I want to talk about is the name box. Can you see this particular box here? It is called name box. If you hover your mouse around it, it is called name box. So if I click on anywhere on the sheet, the name of that cell that I clicked on, it is displayed here. So that is the name of the. How does it read the name of the cell? It's going to read the vertical property and also the horizontal property where they intersect. They intersect at column H and also in row 5. This makes this particular cell be called H5. That is why you see it displayed here on the name box as what? H5. So this is the selected cell. Alright, this is anywhere you select on the worksheet, the name is being displayed on the name box here where my mouse is moving. The next thing I want to talk about is column label. Can you see these alphabets? A, B, C, D, E, F, the G, H, I, and the rest. They are all referred to as columns. Okay, this is column A, column B, column C, column D. That is what we refer to as column label. But this is a column, and this on top of it is the label of this column. If I come to column G, the entire of this is what? A column. But what is on it? What label is on it? It is what? G. So let's go to rows. You can see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 down till infinity. they are referred to as rows. So any of the rows you click, that entire row gets what? Highlighted. So the rows are the horizontal, they are always lying in the horizontal direction, and they are named in form of numbers. You can see this is row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5, row 6, and row 7, and stuff like that. That is the definition for a row. And just like the column, just the way the column has a label, the row also has a label, and it has what? Numerical label. All the labels are 1, 2, 3, 4 down to infinity. Now let's talk about the cell. The cell is the intersection between the rows and column, or the intersection between column and the row. This is a cell, right? And this cell is being displayed. This is the name of the cell, D6. The intersection between this column D and the row 6, column D and row 6, makes this called a cell. So D6 is a cell. If I highlight anywhere on the worksheet, I'm highlighting a particular cell, and that cell must have what? A name. We also have the scroll bars. Can you see this? On the right side of my screen where my mouse is moving, this is what we call the scroll bar. So you can use it to scroll down. You can see this is 14, this is down to 36. Let's keep on scrolling down. These numbers are like unending. So you can use these scroll bars to navigate from top to the bottom of your worksheet. It's not only navigating from top to the bottom, we also have a scroll bar where you can navigate from where? Left to right. So this is it. In case whatever label you're giving to your column still extend, you can use this arrow button, and to click on it, you see where it keeps extending. Or you can hold the scroll bar and drag it in order to come back to where you were before. Are we together? So make use of these scroll bars if there is a need for it. And if you want to scroll to the right hand side, you can make use of these arrow buttons here to do what? To keep scrolling. If you want to go to the top, make use of these scroll bars here and drag it to the top. It takes you immediately to what? The top. You want to move to the left hand side, make use of this scroll bar beneath and drag it to the left hand side, and you get there. This is the cell that we activated while we were in what? While we were scrolling to the right direction. The next important thing I want to tell you about is the formula bar. This is where all formulas you'll be writing, this is where they get displayed. In the process of analyzing data in Excel, you will be prompted to be typing formulas, different kind of formulas to analyze your data. So those formulas will be displayed here in the formula bar. You can see if I hover my mouse, all the formulas will be displayed right here. This is just a brief recap of the interface of Excel. When we are working with this, you'll be seeing it live while we are practicalizing the data. Not just the formula bar, we also have the zoom bar. This is the zoom. Okay, you can zoom, reduce the zoom level by dragging this to the minus area, which is you're zooming out. Then if you want to zoom in, you can click the plus sign, or you just drag this slider to the plus area. Otherwise, just leave it at the middle. So this particular section is called what? The zoom section. Use it to zoom to view the data set very clearly. Let's talk about sheets, and I want to use this analogy to explain sheets. This is where you find a sheet. Let me use this analogy to explain sheet. If you go to the market, when you go to the market, what happens? And you want to buy foodstuff, You go to where they sell rice, isn't it? They give you, they measure the rice for you, and they put it inside a leather which you can put in your big sack bag, so that if you intend to buy more things in the market, you go to somewhere else where they sell pepper, they measure it for you, put it in the leather, then you take that leather and put it in your big sack bag, isn't it? You go to another place where they sell beans, they measure beans for you, probably 4 cups or 10 cups, they put it in their own leather and you put it in your big sack bag. So a sheet is just like one particular leather that contains the foodstuff you went to buy. Are you with me? The sheet is like a particular leather that contains a foodstuff you want to buy. So the same thing that applies with Excel. A sheet is just a page that contains your data. When you work with Excel more, you will find out that there will be a need for creating multiple sheets to hold multiple data. But the truth of the fact is that all of those sheets are being saved in a workbook. So understand the difference between a sheet and a workbook. That's why I use the analogy of someone who went to the market. He wants to buy rice, beans, pepper, maggi. If he goes to any of those vendors and they sell it for him, what happens? They give him a leather for him to put those things, which is like a sheet in Excel where you can put your data. You move to another place, you go to buy rice, they measure the rice, put it in a leather for you and give it to you, and you can put it in your big bag because you plan to buy a lot of things, so you have to go with a big bag. So that big bag in Excel is referred to as workbook, and that is the workbook that contains different worksheets based on different things you went to buy in the market. So we've now known the difference between a workbook and a worksheet. Let's keep on exploring Excel features. Can you see this particular one on the top here, title book 1? This is referred to as the title bar. This is the title bar. This is where the title of your workbook appears. The title of a workbook is going to appear on this top here. So it displays the name of the current workbook. Remember I told you workbook is like a big bag that holds what? Sheets, lots of sheets. So you'll be working on individual worksheets and they can be present in the workbook. So I can show you how to create sheets by clicking this plus sign. If you click the plus sign, you see another sheet is open, another sheet is open. So you can rename any sheet you want to rename by clicking on that sheet. This is sheet 1. Let me type something here, shoe. Let me go to sheet 2. Will you see that shoe again? It's no longer there because this is a separate sheet, a separate space for another data you want to enter. So Excel workbook can hold as many as any sheet. Let's scroll down to sheet. You can see this is sheet 1 and that is the shoe that I typed. So Excel workbook can hold as many sheets as possible. So this title bar is to display the current name of the workbook that handles a lot of worksheets that are available. So you can also rename a sheet by right clicking on it and go to rename. Name it whatever you want to name as. The next I'll be telling you about is the quick access toolbar. The quick access toolbar is located on the top here. This is it. This is where you want to customize whatever you need to appear on the screen. If I want to have a button that I can click when I want to open a new document, I'll just activate it here. You can see anytime I want to open a new document, I'll just click on open and it shows me my document that are available as an Excel, that is saved as an Excel workbook. So I can add more features to the quick access toolbar. I can add email feature so that when I'm done with the sheet or with the workbook, I can email it directly to a client or anybody I want to. So I can add more features like quick prints depending on what you will use. So I don't have to go to file and select new again to create a new worksheet. I can just come to the quick access toolbar and look for where there is new. This is Have I added new to this space? Let me add new here. This is new. I've not added new. This is new. So that whenever I want to create a new workbook, I'll just click on it and a new workbook what appears. Let me delete this particular workbook. So this is a quick access toolbar, a bar whereby you can keep some features you want to quickly access instead of following the regular routine. And to access that feature, you could just, with a click of a mouse, you can just access the feature. So the next important thing we want to look at is the ribbon. As I told you earlier, I said the ribbon is the control center of Excel. This entire space here is the ribbon, and it is the control center whereby you have different tabs that are being organized into this ribbon. You can see this is the home tab, this is the insert tab, this is the page layout tab. As I'm hovering through each tab, you can see the items on the ribbon are changing. This is the data tab, this is the review, this is the view. So this is the home tab, and this tab contains different commands that helps you in analysis of your data. So the home tab contains formatting tools like bold, font color. This is font color. Let me say I just type this right now and I want to make it appear bold. We'll just highlight it and click on what B, and what happens? Watch how it's going to look like. It's going to appear what? Bold. If I click on Italy, it's going to appear in form of Italy. If I underline it, it's also going to appear underlined. If I want to change the color, I could just come here, click on here, change the color to anything you want to. I want to change it to this, or I like red color, I can click on red. You can see the color has been changed. All of this command you get from where? The home. If I also want to increase the font size, how will I do? I can just come here to where I have increase font size and keep on increasing it. You can see it keeps increasing. If I want to decrease it as well, I can use this to decrease it. Or if I have any specific font size in mind, like 25, I could just click here and type it 25 and hit the enter button. You can see it's bigger to font size 25. So in this home tab, you'll find commands that can be used for editing your data, applying some beauty, some form of aesthetics to it. So these are the commands found in the home tab. I didn't want to dwell much on these ones due to the fact that when we enter deep into analysis of data, that's when you get to understand the use of all of this. Excuse me. The next we want to consider is the insert tab. This is the insert tab, and these are the elements that are found in the ribbon of the insert tab. So you use the insert tab to, you can add tables, add pictures. Let me say you want to add pictures to your Excel. Let me see, do I have any picture here? Let me click on it. If you want to add picture, just go to picture, just click on the picture you want to add and click on insert. What happens is get displayed here. So there will be some sheets where you will need to add picture, and this is the simple way to do what? Add an image. So you can use it to add picture, add tables too. Add tables, and you see it display. All right. You can also use it to add other elements like charts, pivot tables, slicer, timeline, 3-dimensional map, pivot chart, equations, and symbols. Don't worry, we'll get used to this the moment we start analysis of our data. Then we also have the page layout. Do you know what a page layout does? It controls the page setup and the print settings. If you want this page to be in form of portrait, you can select portrait and it's going. If you want it to be in landscape, it's already in landscape. So it's all those effects to be applied. So the page layout contains themes, colors that you can use to apply to your spreadsheet. Then we also have the formula, which helps the formula tab, which helps us to input formulas for calculation, including financial and logical and even statistical formulas too. You can input them in the formula tab. So we'll be going in depth in all of these things the moment we want to start working on data, but for now this is just a brief recap and an overview of the Excel interface. We also have the data tab. We use it for sorting and filtering data and also validation of data. That is what we use the ribbons are available in the data tab to do. We also have the review. The review it helps to check spellings. You can see this is a spelling check for your data, and it also helps to do what? It also helps to make comments and workbook protection possible. I can protect this worksheet and lock it with the password, and if nobody knows the password, you can't access this worksheet. So that is how Excel has extended its functionality towards privacy. Then we also have the view. This is where you can adjust the workbook layout. You can zoom and you can also see grid lines and visibility. So in a nutshell, these are the different tabs and the ribbon in Excel. When we start working on data, you will understand how we use each of them for presentation of data, analysis of data, visualization of data, and any other thing you can ever do with your data. So I want to talk about how you can navigate the worksheet. You can use the keyboard and your mouse to navigate the worksheet. You can also use the arrow buttons. You can see, press the arrow on your keyboard. Press the arrows on your keyboard. When you press the arrows on your keyboard, you see the cell moving towards any direction that you are pressing it to. So click or use the arrow keys to move between cells. So you can click. If you want to make use of mouse, click anywhere to move in between the cells. So if you want to jump to a specific cell, you can just use Ctrl G on the keyboard. Then this is where you can now type the reference. The reference means the cell name. Let me say I want to jump to C4. You can see there it's already in C4. Jumping to a specific cell. That is that feature I just showed you right now. Then the name of this cell is being located here. You can see it on the name box, cell C4. So if you want to zoom in and zoom out, and you don't want to use this feature, you can just hold the control button and the mouse wheel. So scroll. If you move the mouse wheel forward, you can see it will be zooming in. If you move it backward while your hand is on the control key, you can see you are zooming out. I told you about the difference between the workbook and a worksheet. I said a workbook is to assist hold different worksheets, and it's very easy to open a workbook. If you want to open a workbook, it's very easy. Just come to File, come to New, and you can create a blank workbook. Once you click on blank, the workbook has been created for you. Yours is just to save. So if you want to save, you can quickly go to your the quick access toolbar. If you have save here, let me see where I have save. Where do I have save? Let me see if I've included that feature. Yes, I've included the save feature. This is for print. Let me hover around them again to see the one which is called save. This is save here. Control S. That's how to save your file. So just press Control S on your keyboard, or you just click on this particular icon here. Once you click on that icon, you will select where you want to save that particular workbook. Is it in downloads, anywhere you want to save it? Just type the name of the workbook, practice tutorial. Then you click on save. It has been saved automatically for you. So if you want to close, lastly, if you want to close a workbook, you can hover down here to where these are the available workbooks that I have opened. So you can click the red icon here to close it, or you can open the worksheet and go to this particular place where you have close and click on it. If you want to minimize, you press the minus button to minimize it. So creating a workbook is very easy. Just go to where you have new on the quick access toolbar, or you go to file and you can see new right here. That is how you can create a new workbook. Remember, there's a difference between workbook and a worksheet. Inside this workbook called book 1, we have 1, 2, 3 different sheets. And these sheets, there are some things you can be doing with it, like naming them. For you to name them, right click on it and name it as, let me say I want to name this as people from Abuja. These are people from, rename, people from Taraba State. If I want to rename this one, I'll click on the sheet, right click and click on rename. These are people from Lagos State. So these are ways you can rename your sheet, and this is saved inside the workbook. So in the next video, we'll be considering how to enter data, how to edit data, how to clear data and format data in Excel. Thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions, kindly leave comments in the comment section. Until I come your way in another video, big shout out to you all.